Hello! Now that was a turnover, wasn't it? When it's fast and you've got to go in a hurry, it happens, doesn't it? Look at that. Uh, please do welcome the lovely Gavin and John, who have been waiting patiently and haven't been saying naughty things to me at all in the other chat room. Gavin, do you want to introduce yourself in with regards to the world of Achtung Cthulhu?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Gavin. I am the visionary for Acting Cthulhu, like John was for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. And I'm also senior project and process manager for Modiphius. I also look after Elder Scrolls and a couple of other projects that we can't talk about.
Yeah, we can't talk about those.
Secret
The
projects.
secret. And John, tell us about yourself and Achtung.
Hello, yes, I'm John Houlihan. I'm the creative lead and line editor on Acton Cthulhu and novelist and writer and all that sort of stuff too. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So if you've ever had a terrifying dream as a result of Acting Cthulhu, it's John's fault, basically. But yeah, because we ran a bit long with Fallout. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack on straight away. All I will say is if you haven't yet had your chance to get hold of your free stuff, get the free stuff. You can get this Gribbly Actung tentacle. It's an STL. You can print it and paint it and then use it in the Actung Cthulhu PDF mission. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Take a look. We're going to cover like 3 things that are coming up over like the next year of Acton Cthulhu, as our longest standing, most senior line. You know, the one that started it all. We wanted to give it the love it deserves, and judging by some people in chat who've already downloaded the mission, there's a few Acton fans here. So, Acton being Acton, we've got to kick off the spooky season with the Hallowe'en Horrors. Now, obviously, part of the mystery of these Hallowe'en Horrors is always like the reveal of what they are. So maybe we don't want to go into too much detail, but there's definitely some gribbly-looking art to deal with. First up, I think, is Gavin's favourite. I don't know. Maybe he will confirm this.
This the disgusting one?
It's the disgusting one.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, favourite is a way to put it. Yeah, that's just repulsive.
Yeah, you know, it happens. It happens, doesn't it? But
yeah. So this is the flying polyp.
It is.
And it's revolting.
It's disgusting.
It's amazing. It's gorgeous. It's a fantastic piece of art, but it's also no.
Yeah, it's not. Someone made that, and that was someone's job. We had to send someone away and go, please draw this.
Yeah.
Only after we expose them to sanity challenging horrors, though, because clearly that's the work of a very disturbed mind. But yeah, it's the classic Lovecraftian monster.
I always had a soft spot until now for the flying polyps, but you know, it's like they never got the love. But this one is truly disgusting. It's worth pointing out that these will be available just like Hallowe'en Horrors were last year as a PDF download. So next up, something a bit. I was going to make I'll do it anyway. It's Halloween. Something a bit ghoulish. But yes, what do we have here? Who's this beautiful?
This is Grande Mère Cherie. She's a ghoul matriarch.
Yes.
Who inhabits the catacombs beneath Paris, leading her ghoul pack and providing sweetmeats for them, which you'll probably see in a sack somewhere upon her back.
Yes, exactly.
She's pretty nice cleaver too, I'd say. She uses to chop up treats for her ghoul children.
Nice. So in case you hadn't noticed, the tone has changed slightly from where we were talking about fun robots. Now we're like, let's cut up people.
Should point out as well, it's a free download.
It is a free download. Yes, this will be free. Obviously, coming around Halloween. Next up is the Djinn. Very spooky, very ethereal. We've included all the original artist sketches for these, so you can sort of see how the art was developed. I feel that's quite cool.
I really like this Djinn because there's a tendency to regard Djinns as kind of the Robin Williams-y type things.
Yeah.
And when you look at the source material, they really, really are.
No,
really
they are not
captures
to be
the
messed with.
very, very sort of sinister, dark edge to it.
These guys first appeared in Serpent and the Sands this year.
They did, didn't they?
And as part of the sort of Lost City of Irem, for those who kind of know the mythology, and guys did such a great job on the art with the sort of city of pillars and a few of these floating around. We thought, oh, we can't not have a proper full-on profile for those guys. So
Definitely not.
Bill Heron, who's the classic, is a long-standing AC writer, and he did Halloween Horrors last year. He's kind of given them a very AC twist, should we say?
Excellent.
Tied them into the lore of that Forbidden City.
Yeah.
I've just seen the comment in chat that we need to do an adventure set in Achtung.
Yeah.
So we can in London, so we can do Achtung Cthulhu.
Well, it's not too far from Ealing Film Studios, so maybe there needs to be a movie edition of making a silent one of the talkies, perhaps. But our next horror is now. I forgive me. I always get this confused. This is a Kelpie, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Kelpie. I always get Kelpies and Selkies confused, and that's my fault. But Kelpies are the seahorses, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, this is a classic. Again, a classic, a sort of more folk horror, given an action twist and tied in to the deep ones this time. These are kind of ancient form of deep one that has taken up residence to the border.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't have thought Kelpies would be that spooky, but I'm clearly just mistaken because it wouldn't be here otherwise.
I think they do like a bit of drowning in classical mythology.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, fair enough.
Myths and legends, the origins of a lot of, the very cutesy, very, very Disney style myths and legends have really dark origins.
Yes,
and that's where we go. That's our go-to place.
I would hate to have to see your Google search history. It must just be a terrifying thing. The final Halloween horror, I think the red cap is my favourite. Look, just how happy he is. He's got a plan. He's working for it. But no, I have a soft spot for creatures which are predominantly mouth. I don't know why. I just think they're particularly spooky. But yeah. I'm not very much familiar with a red cap though. What is a red cap like a?
Again, it's drawn from Scottish folk mythology. We kind of gave a little bit of classic British Isles mythology. These Halloween horrors. The red cap is something that it's a kind of almost a curse, and one of these sort of latches onto those who are depressed or weak of mind or whatever they say in the classic mythology, and haunts the dreams until they're kind of murders them in the wee small hours, and then dips its hat in their blood, which is where the red.
Why it's red?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm learning stuff I never knew I didn't want to know. That's great. So, those are the Halloween horrors. They'll be coming, as like you said, John, a free PDF around Halloween. Drop them into your adventures.
Yeah, we did Halloween horrors last year. We're doing it this year, and it's a nice. I mean, it's Cthulhu, right? So you want to tie into.
Last year was like the kind of the classic, almost Hammer style creatures, wasn't it? This feels more like folky and like, let me tell you a terrifying story before you go to bed, children, kind of angle of it.
Yeah, it's very much you don't want to go into the woods. That's where the red cap lives.
I know I don't want to go to the woods. Definitely not. So that's like a little tease of that. Let's move on to the first.
To go along with these, we will also be. Well, John, you can talk about the.
Indeed, yeah. Well, we'll be also releasing another free scenario called Mysteries of the Manor, which you can happily slot one or several of these guys into, depending on your preferences, which should be. A nice little package for around the All Hallows Eve.
Fantastic! I can't wait to see it. I didn't know there was going to be an adventure as well. That's going to be even better. So the first, we've got two sort of obviously Halloween Horrors has its place, but there's two quite chunky releases coming. The first of these is going to be called Achtung Cthulhu Unexplored. What are we doing with this? Because I think this is a pretty interesting and quite different thing. Do you guys want to tell us about this?
Sure. So we talk a lot about redlining between, points of adventure when we do Achtung Cthulhu and campaigns. It's the old classic Indiana Jones thing where you travel by plane or whatever from one city to the other. And we got to thinking about what you might do that would be interesting in between those sort of more cinematic moments in the campaign. So this is what we call a terrain generator. It's got about 9 different biomes or environments. And it allows the GM, it's kind of a GM tool, to sort of enliven those journeys in between big set pieces of your campaign. So be going through swamp environments or mountains and hills, or plains and stuff like that. At the end of each of those 9 chapters, there's some mini kind of priority style missions with some detailed locations that the GM can build adventure around. There's further adventure seeds for inspiration, I suppose, for the GM. It's just kind of to enliven that journey. We thought would be an interesting idea.
And also, I suppose it helps you get away from that. And obviously, there's the idea of these occupied European towns or spooky forests or things like that. Those are the meat of an Achtung Cthulhu story, obviously, and they have their place. But occasionally, you want to take yourself off to where the rest of the Secret War is going on. There's deserts and there's swamps, like you said, and places where the real World War didn't even touch.
Absolutely. I mean, when you consider that the Secret War, it does cover all of the same battlefields as the Second World War did, but it's also more than that as well. There's stuff going on in the deepest jungles of South America. We have adventures that are set in frozen climates as well. In some of them we'll be getting to, when we look at Norway, but there's also sort of Antarctica, and there certainly weren't any World War II battles in Antarctica, but we've got at least one mission that's set down there at the moment.
Because that's what you want to.
Everything in between. We've already touched a little bit on this with some stuff in Serpent the Sands, and also the first of these is in the mission dossier, which has just come out as well. The Dark Beyond contains the jungle rules, so you will see more of the same.
I love this piece of art, by the way. I love this piece of art. These poor saps, just like they're having a bad day already. But it's going to go even worse. But yeah, no, I think this sounds fascinating because I mean I'm always. What do you want?
Combined with some of it gives you the tools that combined with some of the PDF missions we've got, and also our priority missions that we're starting to put out as well. With this terrain generator, you can more or less procedurally build yourself an entire session or series of adventures based just around getting from A to B, without even doing whatever it is you need to do when you get to B as well.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of quite nice. Sometimes, as a GM, you want a really tightly scripted set piece to go from thrilling set piece to set piece, but I think sometimes it's fun to do a sort of more improvisational thing and just go, right, well, we'll see where the dice take us tonight.
Exactly. You never know where things are gonna happen, and I think that's the great. I know we use the term redlining to riff on that, but if you think about it, those bits in particularly Indiana Jones movies, they always kind of lead somewhere, or there's a reason for them, and you come out in the middle when they have to stop over. It's like when they have to stop over when the Zeppelin's about to take off and things like that. It's like little touchstones where we can just throw in a little flavour. I think that's always amazing.
It also a little bit, we kind of allude to it on the cover as well, but it also makes me think of those big maps you see, like the conspiracy maps where people have got things joined together with the red string. More than any other game, the Secret War is all about uncovering hideous conspiracies and things like that as well. So it ties in a little bit to that you might, suddenly find out you need to go off to Belize tomorrow, or the second part of the MacGuffin is actually in the farthest part of the Kamchatka Peninsula or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, no, I'm dead excited for Unexplored. That's kind of like I love a map, and I love trying to inject that kind of idea of like something happening on the journey, but without bagging it down in like day 3 of your slog through the swamp. It's like we don't want this to turn into the early part of the Fellowship of the Ring.
No.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about Unexplored, or shall we reveal the main course?
Well, just to say, it'll be out in November.
Always good to know. Always good to know.
The only thing that I would say is the whole time we talk about this in all of our various meetings, I do have the Raiders March playing in the back of my mind.
I have it playing in my mind right now. I mean, it's just like it's inescapable. It's like Inception. Yeah. Don't think of elephants. So someone says you don't think of the Raiders March, it's not going to happen. So the third...
So this next thing that we're talking about is something that people have been asking about for a very long time.
Yeah,
and we've been working on it, and we've all been desperate to talk about it, but we've not been in a place where we could up until this point, and now we.
And here it is. It's the Achtung Cthulhu starter set, and yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to be a thing. Tell us about it, Gavin.
Yeah, so Achtung Cthulhu starter set. It will introduce you into the game, gives you everything you need to get started with Achtung Cthulhu. It includes the introductory rules. It includes an introductory adventure. It includes maps, dice, counters, pre-generated character sheets, all the lovely goodness that you would expect from one of our starter sets.
Yep. Yeah, it's some of the components. So we've got like some of them to share now. There's some maps. 3 of the pre-generated characters. I would also already want to play Alex Hellgate Kelly because he has a cat. So that's
the maps that we were just looking at are actually poster size maps. So some of them you'll be using as on the table with some of the counters as kind of battle maps as well.
Excuse me. Yeah. So there's the maps, there's the characters, pre-gens, and tokens. You want your tokens? I got your tokens right here. But yeah, this is going to have, and obviously there's some components which we can't show yet. Presumably there will be dice in it, won't there?
There will be dice. I do have some prototype dice here.
He got dice. Show the dice.
Some, which I can move them around rapidly.
Oh no!
There are some prototype dice there, but I can't show you because they haven't got the right symbols on them yet. But
that's fair enough.
Slightly wrong color as well.
That's fine. That's fine. It does happen. But and then yes, this is the Among the Wolves is going to be the kind of the mission that comes with the starter set. Do we know kind of what that's going to be, or what's the blurb for that?
Yeah, well, it's written by Ben Maunder, he of Fallout fame. And it's a nice introductory adventure set in and around Dunkirk, the evacuation of Dunkirk in 1939. You are a set of 6 agents summoned by Professor Deadman, one of the iconic figures of the Secret War, the Proto Majestic, and sent on a real roller coaster mission, which will introduce you to factions like the Black Sun, the Nazi occult menace. And as you can see from that cover, it all ends up in a vast alien hive city deep under the countryside.
Don't give it all away.
Don't spoil the end.
Well, I mean, the cover is, and the thing kind of does tell you where you're going.
Just bury the lead slightly.
That could be any giant mining machine.
It could be, but it's. I think it's a. It is a really good introduction to Achtung Cthulhu, and I think if you've ever wanted to try the game, you can pick this up for around about, I think we're looking at under 30 quid.
Hopefully, yeah.
And it'll have everything you need to just sit down and play. Plenty of rule tips if you're a GM. Really will help you learn the system as well.
Yeah.
You've got some really nice visuals and really nice tactile stuff as well with the maps and the counters to really sort of wow your players. So that's really what we wanted to do with this, is like give people a really exciting introduction to the and very tactile introduction to the line.
we're all very passionate in the acting team. Harold Lampos, who is the third leg of the tripod, couldn't be here today, unfortunately. Who is the project manager who looks after it. We're all very passionate about it, and this has been a little bit of a passion project we've been working on over the last 18 months or so.
Yeah.
And something we wanted to do from the very, very early days, but we've just not had all the right pieces in place. And they've suddenly all dropped in. We're like, right, quick, go now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also this is one of the good things about doing a start set, particularly like this, is like it's obviously it's great to get as your first trip into the Secret War. It's also the sort of thing that I don't know about you guys. I love getting, even when I've run a game for a while, just to like go, you know what, we're jumping. This is like now the special event. This is like it's got all the handouts, it's got all the luxury stuff, and it's like this way you want to have that special moment where you think, okay, I can take a slight backseat as a GM, and it's more luxe now.
It's funny you say that, because we were talking the other day about the Achtung Cthulhu releases are all numbered in issues. So issue number 1, issue number 2, to get that pulp sort of feeling. And it didn't quite feel right for this to be like issue number 11 or whatever it is after all the releases. So this is instead a special issue.
A special premiere issue, yeah. Like the kind of bump. I did think it should be like, when you used to get those comics, you get the bumper style bumper edition first issue or something, and that's what it feels like, is that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's going to be plenty here. I think also what we want to do is, if we have, is there anything else we want to say about the starter set? I suppose first.
The only thing that I would say about the starter set is that the tokens that we've got here. A lot of people asked about VTT support for the game as well, and these tokens go a big way to forming sort of a backbone for a VTT support pack for it as well, and the maps and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so they're very much an enabling. I was going to say technology then, but that's not what I mean. They're a step along the way to our VTT packs.
Yeah, excellent.
I think that was one of the sort of submissions in developing this, was to kind of get that process where people could just take the tokens, because it is quite hard to get support across the entire VTT packages, but at least we supply the sort of digital assets, and then people can go nuts and make their own, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we've also taken the step that all of the maps in the books that we're releasing now are also available separately as high-res images as well, so you can use them on your VTTs too.
Cool. Foundra's lovely fan-made rule set for AC. Well, there we go. This is the thing. The community steps up sometimes, but we want to provide our stuff as well. Speaking of things coming, we don't want to just leave other games to have a tease. We're just going to put coming soon. This and we'll maybe, I don't know what you guys want to say about this. Do you want to say anything? Do you just leave it there, or just say that this is a very important moment of history, which is being visited by Achtung Cthulhu for the first time?
Well, indeed. I mean, I'll say one thing about it. It's number one, it's the sort of very rough outline of the cover, but obviously we draw a lot of inspiration from movies and sort of popular TV and stuff. And this was kind of inspired by that brilliant movie, The Longest Day.
Yes.
The parachute scene where the guys are coming down and stuff. Ariel, art director, has done a great initial outline, and I can't wait to sort of see this inked in and looking good on the cover of the day book, which we will be releasing. Yeah.
Oh, we can't speak about this, can we? No. Not unless Gavin or John speak about it first. That's the thing. When they blab, all the gates open, but until then, no.
Yes, I mean we could say what it is. It's our D-Day it's our D-Day campaign book.
Yeah.
Which we are releasing, fingers crossed, on D-Day next year.
Yes. Yes, so
as it seems to tie in quite nicely.
Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? It's a bit thematic. Would the start set? Someone saying in the chat, would the start set be good if you want to learn it? Yeah, obviously that is obviously what start set is great for. Also, there is a quick start for Achtung Cthulhu. Check that out as well. It's like all of these things. They can seem a bit complicated beforehand, but once you dive in and get going, you pick up what you need and go for it.
We've also got some really great live play videos on the Modiphius interwebs YouTube.
Yep, there's a couple of one of
channel.
which is run even by our very own John, who ran us through a quick trip to France, which is very good. But we check all that stuff out. It's the best way, and also do join us on Discord and our forums like discord.gg/Modiphius or forums.modiphius.com, because that's where all the like-minded nerds and brilliant people like us hang out. So if you want to find out about Achtung and get hanging out with them, that's the place to do it. Also, I would be remiss not to, at one last point, point out free stuff. Get your free stuff here. I don't know why I'm hawking it, because literally it's free. It's free. I don't need to hawk it. It speaks for itself. If you would like to download this STL of this gribbly tentacle, hello, you can see one here, and you can see one here which was painted by our very own Callum. You can see how they end up. That one's done in a very red Cohors Cthulhu style. We'll be getting onto that in the next session. That is free. You can download it, print it out, and do what you want with it. Quite frankly, it's free to be enjoyed as you so fit.
If you enjoy the free scenario as well, you may well need more than one of them.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, the free scenario is also available on that page. It is Achtung Cthulhu Priority Mission: The Renegade Tentacles of Doom. I think it's safe to say, without too much of a glimpse behind the window of the creative process, in a meeting I said to the guys, is there possible we could get like a mission to go with this tentacle PDF? And within minutes I had an email titled Renegade Tentacles of Doom, and it sprang from there, because sometimes a good title is all you need. And finally, as I'm sure you've been aware from the previous session, if you're of a Fallout Wasteland Warfare type mind, the Wave 9 promo is now available on our website, so please do go and check it out. It is the not at all terrifying Nera, and that is that. So it's been a whirlwind tour, thanks in no parts to some technical issues earlier, and next time I'm going to electrify the Fallout team's seats so they stop talking when I... Can you have another glimpse of that work in progress cover? I'm sure you can. There it is. There it is, Vass.
Just one last thing that I would say about the D-Day book is that it's going to be in concert with, we haven't decided which one, but a D-Day charity.
Yes. Because obviously it's always a bit... it's a fine line to walk when you're dealing with certain historical events, and this equally so. So we'll be more on that when we get the chance to announce it. Is there anything else you find gents would like to say about the fine world of Achtung Cthulhu before we head off to a break?
Not so much. Just we've got a full program for this year and next. Monthly releases. There's plenty of free stuff, plenty of paid stuff.
It definitely is.
Lots of big campaigns, small campaigns. So involved.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're planning. We typically plan sort of 12 to 18 months in advance, and we've got all the releases for next year sorted out, pending perhaps a return of Renegade Tentacles of Doom for ModCon next year. I don't know.
Renegade Tentacles of Doom.
Yeah, Renegade Tentacles of Doom 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. Yeah.
No, it'd be Electric Cthulhu.
Electric Cthulhu.
It doesn't quite work, does it? It's not quite there. Never mind. But there we go. Yeah, so that with that. we are now going to take a very, very short break. When we're back, we'll be back with a pre-recorded session. We were unable to lock down the people from Dreams and Machines and Cohorts Cthulhu for live tonight. I'll still be in chat though, so don't worry. Well, maybe that's not a good thing, but I won't be going anywhere. But please do thank Gavin and John for coming on and taking us through Act Cthulhu. It's always lovely to have them. Otherwise, we will see you all on the other side of this very short holding screen. Enjoy. Bye, Ron.
Bye.